Lisa Wright straightened her uniform as the alien ship descended through Earth's atmosphere. The year was 2157 and humanity had spread throughout the solar system with colonies on Mars, Europa, and Titan. They were pushing the boundaries of science, especially in faster-than-light travel experiments. Now, these experiments have attracted attention from outside your solar system. "They're here," said General Alan Carter, standing next to her on the airstrip. His weathered face revealed nothing, but Lisa knew him well enough to see the tension in his shoulders. "Remember, we are just a young species taking its first steps into the stars," Lisa said calmly. "That's what they need to believe." The ship landed almost without making a sound. It was sleek and silver, unlike the bulky ships humans built. A door opened and 3 tall, blue-skinned aliens emerged. The Exorlian representatives of the Galactic Council. "Ambassador Wright, I presume." The leader alien's voice came through a translator device. His name was Zalvex, and his large eyes moved constantly, observing everything around him. "Yes, welcome to Earth. This is General Carter, our military contact." Lisa stepped forward with a practiced smile. Zalvex barely recognized the introduction. The council observed their species with great interest. "Your progress is unusual." The aliens were escorted to a conference room in the United Nations building in New York. Through the large windows, they could see the reconstructed skyline, now featuring towers that reached impossible heights in the sky. "Your planet appears primitive compared to most council worlds," Zalvex said as he sat down. "However, you advance quickly in certain areas." Lisa maintained her diplomatic smile. "We are eager to learn and grow, mainly in weapons technology." Another compromised Exorlian, with his eyes fixed on General Carter. "Just for defense," Carter responded calmly. "Our solar system presents many natural hazards." The meeting lasted hours. The aliens explained the Galactic Council, a union of 42 species that govern this sector of the galaxy. They spoke of trade agreements, technological exchange programs, and mutual protection treaties. The Council extends a formal invitation to Earth to send representatives to Nexus Prime. Zalvex finally announced. "There, we will discuss your entry into our galactic community." His tone made it clear that this was not really an invitation, but a summons. After the aliens left to return to the ship, Lisa and Alan walked to a safe room deep within the building. "They are evaluating us," Lisa said as the door closed behind them. "Questions about our military capabilities were not subtle." Alan nodded. "They don't know. How could they? The Terran Empire does not exist in any public record." Lisa sank into a chair, finally allowing herself to show tiredness. "The truth is that humanity has been preparing for this moment for decades." After discovering alien observation probes in the early 2080s, the nations of Earth secretly united under a single military command structure, the Terran Empire. On the surface, the countries maintained their independence and occasional conflicts, all carefully staged. Under this facade, humanity built a unified defense force unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. "We should accept their invitation," said Alan. "See what we're really dealing with." Lisa agreed. "I need to speak to President Martinez first." Alan walked to a secure terminal and entered a series of codes. A hidden door opened, revealing an elevator. "She's waiting for our report in command." As they descended toward Earth's true seat of power, Lisa thought about the aliens' condescending attitude. They clearly saw humans as primitive newcomers, easy to control and exploit. "They think we are children," she said. Alan's face finally broke into a small smile. "Leave it to them. The day they discover what humanity really is will come soon." The elevator doors opened to reveal a vast underground complex buzzing with activity. SCR-1 showed the Zorlian ship departing Earth, monitored by defense systems that the aliens never detected. Somewhere in the asteroid belt, the first fleet of the Terran Empire waited silently, ready for whatever might happen. The journey to Nexus Prime lasted 2 weeks aboard the Zorlian diplomatic ship. Lisa Wright spent most of her time studying files on the various alien species that made up the Galactic Council. General Carter remained reserved, apparently uninterested in the luxurious accommodations provided by his hosts. Dr. Eric Powell, Earth's leading xenobiologist, was the third member of their small delegation. He moved around the ship with wide-eyed wonder that the Corlians found amusing. They didn't notice how his eyes remained on certain technology or how his seemingly clumsy stumbles allowed him to collect biological samples from his crew. "We are getting closer to Nexus Prime," Zalvex announced on the last day. "Please join me on the observation deck." The three humans gathered at the large observation window. None of them were gassed on sight before them, although they all wanted to. Nexus Prime was huge, a space station the size of a small moon. Thousands of ships moved around it like bees around a hive. "The heart of galactic civilization," Zalvex said proudly, "home to the Council for over 2,000 years." Lisa nodded politely. "Impressive." After docking, they were escorted to temporary quarters. The station's artificial gravity seemed slightly stronger than Earth's. The air carried an unknown meaning. Aliens of all shapes and sizes moved through the wide corridors, some casting curious glances at the humans. "We are scheduled to meet with the entire council tomorrow," Lisa told her companions when they were alone. "Dr. Powell, what did you find?" Eric pulled out a small device. "Its technology is advanced but predictable. No quantum entanglement communication. Their ships use a form of antimatter propulsion that is efficient but vulnerable to electromagnetic disturbances." "And its biology?" General Carter asked. "Most species here evolved in environments with less radiation than Earth. Their cellular repair mechanisms are less robust than ours." Eric smiled slightly. "In simple terms, they are softer than us." The next day, they stood before the Galactic Council, a semicircle of 42 representatives sitting on raised platforms. The chamber was designed to intimidate, with visitors standing in a spotlight while council members remained in shadow. The Great Referee, a tall insectoid being, spoke first. "Welcome, representatives of Earth. We analyze your membership application." Lisa frowned. "We do not submit an application." A murmur ran through the council. The Great Referee's jaws clicked in what could have been annoyance. "A formality. Your presence here constitutes application." He continued without pause. "The council determined that humanity needs guidance. You will receive protection status, Category 3. General Carter stepped forward. "What does this mean exactly?" A member of the Reptilian Council responded. "Their military development will be restricted. The Council will establish foundations in its system to ensure compliance. Your resource-rich planets will contribute a fair share to the Council's needs." "Does this mean you will use our resources and limit our ability to defend ourselves?" Lisa said calmly. For his own protection, the Great Referee insisted. "Your species is young, impulsive. You need guidance to avoid the mistakes others have made." Lisa maintained her diplomatic composure, but felt Carter tense beside her. Dr. Powell was silently scanning the chamber with a hidden device. "How many other species are under this protection?" Lisa asked. 17 currently benefit from our guidance." The reptilian replied. "And if we refuse, the chamber will fall silent." The Great Referee leaned forward. "That would be reckless. The Council guarantees peace through unity. Those outside our protection often face hardship, piracy, loss of resources, or resources. Occasionally comes into conflict with more advanced races." His tone made the threat clear. "You have 30 days to prepare your world for integration." Another council member added. "After that, peacekeepers will arrive to begin the transition." As they left the chamber, Lisa felt cold anger replacing her diplomatic restraint. Back in his quarters, Carter activated a jamming device. "The Lionheart Protocol is now in effect," he said into a secure communicator hidden in his uniform. The message would reach Earth through a quantum entanglement device that the Cuxorians had not detected. Technology that the Council believed was impossible for humans to possess. Lisa looked at the vast station. "They have no idea what they just did." "No," Carter agreed. "They don't." President Olivia Martinez was in the command center under the Rocky Mountains. The room was silent when she entered. Dozens of military officers and government officials watched her with expectant eyes. "The Lionheart Protocol is confirmed," she announced. The Council showed its true face. Admiral John Davis, commander of Earth's hidden fleet, stepped forward. "So it's time to show ours, Madam President." She nodded. "Activate all forces. The Terran Empire emerges today. Across the solar system, a transformation has begun." What appeared to be mining operations in the asteroid belt suddenly shed their outer layers, revealing massive shipyards. Civilian outposts on Mars have opened hidden bunkers containing weapons and fighter jets. The lunar colony, supposedly a scientific research station, activated defense systems disguised as communications arrays. On a hidden dock above Jupiter, Captain Kate Miller received her orders. She has trained for this moment her entire career. All to stations, she ordered as she entered the bridge of the TSS Defiance. Get ready to break the concealment. Challenge was Earth's first true warship, hidden for years inside an excavated asteroid. At 1,500 meters long, it carried weapons that could destroy a small moon. Its crew of 1,200 lived and trained in secret, ready for the day when humanity revealed its true strength. Concealment field being deactivated, his first officer reported. We are visible in 3, 2, 1. The enormous ship emerged from its hiding place, its hull gleaming in the distant sunlight. Around him, another 11 warships appeared, each commanded by captains who swore to protect Earth at all costs. All systems operational, Kate said, feeling the power of the huge engines through the deck plates. Prepare for your meeting with Admiral Davis. On Earth, Lieutenant Ben Garcia led his team through the mountains of Colorado. Their mission was critical, disabling the monitoring satellites that the Council had secretly placed in Earth's orbit years ago. Team in position, reported through their secure communicator, ready to launch countermeasures. Proceed, came the command's response. He then activated the device his team had carried up the mountain. It looked like ordinary climbing equipment to any observer. In reality, it contained technology that would blind the eyes of the Council in Earth's orbit. Countermeasures implemented. Council satellites will go dark in 3, 2, 1. Success. They are blind. In space, Admiral Davis observed ships emerging from hiding places throughout the solar system. Some came from Mars, others from the moons of Jupiter and Saturn. The mining colonies on Titan revealed their true purpose as military bases. Even peaceful-looking research stations have appeared to house weapons and fighters. Fleet count. He asked his communications officer. 50 capital ships reporting in, sir, more than 200 support vessels. Fighter squadrons are still online. Davis nodded with satisfaction. For decades, Earth maintained the appearance of a divided planet with limited space capabilities. The nations supposedly competed with each other, while secretly working together. Resources that seemed to go to civilian projects were channeled into the greatest military development in human history. The Council's spies saw only what the humans wanted them to see. A young species taking its first steps into space. They never suspected that Earth had united under the banner of the Terran Empire, preparing for the day when alien threats would emerge. Sir, we are receiving a transmission from Council space, the communications officer reported. They say the peacekeeping force left early. Estimated arrival in our system in 10 days. Admiral Davis smiled grimly. They think they are catching us off guard. He turned to the tactical display, showing the growing Terran fleet. Ships of various sizes and designs, all built with a single purpose, to defend humanity against those who would subjugate it. Let them come, he said. The Omega battle plan is now in effect. Captain Miller, position the gauntlet and your battle group behind Mars. We will use the planet to mask your energetic signatures. The pieces were in motion. The Council's peacekeeping force was falling into a trap it could not have foreseen. Earth was not the easy target they expected. It was a sleeping giant, now fully awake. On Nexus Prime, Lisa Wright knew something was wrong when armed guards appeared outside her quarters. The Council promised them 3 more weeks to prepare Earth for integration. This promise, like many others, was broken. They're coming for us, she told Carter and Powell. The peacekeeping force left early. General Carter nodded grimly. So we execute our escape plan now. Within minutes, alarms sounded throughout the station. The 3 humans disappeared from their quarters, leaving only confusion. Dr. Powell led the way through the maintenance tunnels he had secretly mapped out during his stay. His seemingly innocent wanderings were careful reconnaissance. They emerged near a small dock where private vessels were kept. There, Carter pointed to a sleek shuttle. This has the range we need. 2 guards spotted them and raised weapons. Carter moved with surprising speed for his age, incapacitating both aliens before they could fire. Lisa was already working on the shuttle's access panel, using the code she had memorized from observing the docking procedures. At the same time, she announced as the door opened. Powell took the pilot's seat. Another ability the Council didn't know humans possessed. They have studied alien ship controls from surveillance data for years. Ambassador Wright was detained, announced a voice over the station's communication system. Any vessel attempting to leave will be disabled. The ship took off, moving away from the station as energy weapons fire tracked its path. Powell performed evasive maneuvers that no primitive human being should have known. "They will follow," Carter said as they cleared the station's defensive perimeter. "Leave them," Powell replied, activating the ship's faster-than-light thrust. "When they catch up, it will be too late." Near Earth, the Council fleet emerged from faster-than-light travel. 20 large warships and 40 support ships, a force considered more than adequate to subdue an unprepared planet. Admiral Zextar stood on the bridge of his flagship, confident in his mission. The humans would quickly surrender once they saw the overwhelming force arrayed against them. The Council had already done this 17 times with other species. The scan of Earth's defenses reported to its sensor officer, detecting minimal orbital platforms. Primitive weapons systems, no significant space fleet. Zextar smiled. "That would be easy." "Sir," the sensor officer suddenly shouted, "I'm detecting unusual energy readings in Earth's orbit." Before Zextar could respond, explosions erupted throughout his fleet. Hidden mines were activated as Council ships passed through Earth's outer orbital paths. 5 support ships were immediately destroyed, and 3 larger ships reported serious damage. "What is happening?" Zextar demanded. On the bridge of the defense, still hidden behind Mars, Captain Kate Miller watched the chaos unfold in her tactical display. "Lieutenant Garcia's mind is working perfectly," her tactical officer reported. Kate nodded. "Prepare main weapons. When Admiral Davis gives the signal, we move forward." The Council fleet regrouped, advancing deeper into the solar system despite the losses. They were confused but still confident in their superior numbers. Then Admiral Davis sprung the trap. The Terran fleet emerged from hiding places throughout the system. Ships emerged from behind the moons, from within Saturn's rings, from Jupiter's clouds. A complete battle group has emerged from Earth's oceans, where it has been stationed for years. Zextar looked at his sensor monitors in disbelief. Where did all these ships come from? Humans are supposed to be primitive, barely able to reach their own moon without Council technology. "Sir, we are surrounded," his first officer reported, voice shaking. "I count 50. Number 60 large warships. Hundreds of smaller vessels." From behind Mars, Captain Miller's battle group emerged, the massive challenge leading the charge. "This is Captain Kate Miller of the Terran Empire." It transmitted on all frequencies. "Your peacekeeping force is invading sovereign space. You will turn off your weapons and prepare to be boarded, or you will be destroyed." Admiral Davis added his own message from his flagship. "This is Admiral John Davis, commander of the Terran fleet. You entered our system under false pretenses and with hostile intentions. Consider this our response to your threats." Zextar realized too late the terrible mistake the Council had made. They threatened a species far more dangerous than they could have imagined. The battle for Earth was about to begin. Admiral Zextar refused to believe what his sensors were showing. Humans are supposed to be a young and divided species. However, the ships surrounding his fleet displayed technology that met or exceeded the Council standards. "All vessels open fire," he commanded, his voice shaking with anger and fear. The Council fleet launched its attack, energy weapons shining in the void of space. Many shots missed their target as the Earth ships, they moved with unexpected speed and precision. In the challenge, Captain Kate Miller remained calm as enemy fire approached. "Shields at maximum. Hold the position." The crew watched in silence as the alien weapons carried their shields. The challenge decreased slightly, but remained firm. "Shields at 92%, reported the tactical officer with a smile. "Your weapons are not as powerful as we expected." Kate nodded. "Return heat. Target their propulsion systems. We want to disable, not destroy." The challenge's main cannons fired, bright beams of energy that cut through the Council ships' shields as if they weren't there. 2 enemy ships immediately lost power, floating helplessly in space. Across the solar system, the battle unfolded according to Admiral Davis's careful plan. Earth ships attacked from multiple directions, forcing the Council fleet to divide its attention. The Council had numbers, but Earth had surprise and superior tactics. On Earth itself, Lieutenant Garcia watched from a control center as Earth's defense systems were activated. Huge cannons emerged from bunkers hidden in mountain ranges and desert plains. When Council ships attempted to enter low orbit for bombardment, they were met with devastating fire from below. Earth-based defenses at 100% performance. Garcia reported to Admiral Davis that no enemy ships had breached the inner defensive line. Davis nodded with satisfaction. Keep them busy. Captain Miller's group is executing the main attack now. In space, the challenge led to a wedge formation of 10 ships directly toward the Council's flagship. Zexter watched their approach with growing panic. Aim for that big human ship with everything we've got, he ordered. Several Council ships focused their fire on the challenge. Kate Miller felt her ship grow under the attack. Shields at 60%, his officer reported. We can't take much more of this. Kate's face showed no fear. Divert power from engines to shields. We just need to get closer. The challenge advanced, receiving blow after blow. Other Terran ships moved to protect it, sacrificing themselves to block enemy fire. The Council gunners began to panic as the massive human ship continued its approach despite everything they threw at it. In a stolen Council ship racing toward Earth, Dr. Powell analyzed data from the battle using the alien ship's sensors. Your shields operate on a frequency we can disrupt, he told General Carter. If we can get this information to our fleet, Carter has activated a hidden communications device. I'm sending it now. Admiral Davis will know what to do with it. The data reached the Terran fleet just as the battle reached its peak. Davis immediately distributed the information to all ships. Adjust the weapons to these frequencies, he ordered. Let's get this over with quickly. The Terran ships recalibrated their weapons. When they fired again, the Council ships' shields failed almost instantly. Panic spread across the alien fleet as systems failed and weapons went offline. Faced with the challenge, Kate Miller made a difficult decision. His ship was badly damaged, but he still had one final card to play. Prepare the new charge, she ordered. Target your flagship. His first officer looked shocked. Captain, this will destroy our main engines. Our engines are better than our planet, Kate replied. Execute the order. The Gauntlet's engines blazed brightly as its power was channeled into a single devastating weapon. A blast of energy brighter than a small sun erupted from a human ship, engulfing the Council's flagship. When the light disappeared, Zextar's ship was adrift in pieces. The challenge floated helplessly but intact, with the crew cheering despite the situation. Across the system, Council ships began to surrender or retreat. They never expected such resistance from a primitive species. Admiral Davis's voice was broadcast across all channels. This battle is over. The Earth remains united and undefeated. The Terran Empire will not be conquered or colonized. The Council's attempt to subjugate Earth failed spectacularly. But for humanity, this was just the beginning. 2 days after the battle, President Olivia Martinez addressed the people of Earth. For the first time in history, all humans have learned the truth about the Terran Empire, the secret military alliance that has protected them for decades. Today, we are revealed to the galaxy, she said. We will no longer hide our strength or our unity. The era of feigned division is over. Most people were shocked to learn that the occasional conflicts between nations had been carefully staged, but they quickly embraced the new reality once they understood the threat the Council posed. Admiral Davis did not have time to celebrate the victory. With Earth secured, he assembled a strike force for a more dangerous mission. Ambassador Wright is still being held on Nexus Prime. He told the officers gathered on his flagship that we will recover her. His plan was bold, a direct attack on the center of the Council's power. 20 ships would make the voyage, led by the repaired and upgraded Challenge under the command of Captain Miller. This isn't just a rescue mission, Davis explained. It's a statement. The Council needs to understand that threatening Earth has consequences. As the strike force prepared to leave, Major Samantha Foster assembled her Special Operations team. They would infiltrate the Council headquarters while the fleet created a distraction. Our intelligence suggests that Ambassador Wright is being held in the central tower, she told her team as they checked their equipment. We need to move quickly and quietly. Among the Council's captured ships, Captain Ryan Mitchell of the TSS Guardian made a surprising discovery. In the ship's range, he found prisoners of a dozen different alien species. Who are you? He asked, releasing them from their cells. A tall, four-armed alien stepped forward. We are resistance fighters. The Council welcomed us when we refused its protection. Mitchell was stunned. There is resistance against the Council. How many of you are there? Thousands on many worlds, replied the alien. We fight to free our planets from Council control. They take our resources and restrict our development, just as they planned to do to Earth. Mitchell immediately contacted Admiral Davis with this information. Sir, I think we've found potential allies. Meanwhile, Dr. Powell worked tirelessly in his laboratory. Data collected during the battle provided information about the Council's technology, allowing it to develop countermeasures against its most powerful weapons. Their ships rely on quantum-linked targeting systems. He explained to a group of engineers that if we transmit this interrupt signal, their weapons will not be able to lock onto our ships. The new technology was quickly distributed throughout the Terran fleet. Powell didn't stop there. He also developed non-literal weapons that could disable Council ships without casualties. We need to show that we are different from them. He insisted, we can be powerful without being cruel. As the strike force prepared to depart for Nexus Prime, General Carter and his stolen ship finally arrived on Earth. The information he brought back was invaluable, detailed maps of the Council headquarters and weaknesses in their communication systems. They rely on a central relay network. Carter explained during the final briefing that if we can take control, we can broadcast directly to all the Council worlds. Admiral Davis incorporated this information into his plan. This changes everything. We're not just going to rescue Ambassador Wright. We're going to expose the Council's lies to the entire galaxy. The strike force departed Earth's orbit with a new mission, rescue, revelation, and the beginning of a revolution throughout Council space. On the Challenge Bridge, Captain Miller watched the blue glow of Earth disappear behind them. Despite the recent damage to her ship, she insisted on leading this mission. Do you think the other species will join us? His first officer asked. Miller nodded. The Council has oppressed worlds for centuries. All they needed was someone to show them that resistance is possible. As the fleet activated its faster-than-light thrusts, Earth continued its preparations. The Terran Empire was no longer just defending humanity. It was bringing hope to the stars. The Terran strike force arrived at Nexus Prime to find chaos. News of Earth's victory spread, inspiring uprisings on several Council-controlled worlds. The massive space station was on high alert. Your defenses fully activated. Admiral Davis observed the station from the bridge from his flagship. Start the detour. Captain Miller, take your group to the secondary berthing area as planned. The Defiance and 5 other ships broke formation, heading for a less defended section of Nexus Prime, while the main fleet faced the station's defenses head-on. Inside the station, Ambassador Lisa Wright sat in her cell, listening to the alarms. She refused to cooperate with the Council's demands, even under threat. Now she smiled as the lights flickered. The Earth came to her. Major Samantha Foster's team boarded the station during the confusion of the attack. Dressed in captured Council security uniforms, they moved through the halls with confidence. Signs of life show 57 humans on board, a member of its team reported, checking a scanner. Most are detained at the detention level. Samantha nodded. Let's go. As the rescue operation continued, Captain Mitchell's Guardian led a different mission. His ship carried representatives of 15 species, seeking independence from the Council. They formed an alliance with Earth after learning of her successful resistance. We're receiving transmissions from the station's resistance cells. Michel's communications officer reported. They are offering to help. Mitchell smiled. Tell them to direct you to the communications center. We need to take control of the broadcast system. General Carter, now aboard Davis's flagship, coordinated the attack. His knowledge of the station's layout proved invaluable in directing forces to critical points. The Council depends on order and control, he explained. If we create enough chaos, their command structure will collapse. Throughout the station, resistance fighters came out of hiding, attacking Council security forces. Many were station workers from worlds under Council protection who had suffered silently for years. In her cell, Lisa heard fighting outside. The door suddenly opened, revealing Major Foster in Council uniform. Ambassador Wright, I'm Major Foster of Terran Special Forces. We are here to take you home. Lisa stood up quickly. Not yet. The Council is planning something desperate. I heard the guards. They have a weapon they call the Purifier. They will use it against Earth if they can't have it. Samantha contacted Admiral Davis immediately with this information. The Admiral quickly bonded with Dr. Powell, who was monitoring the battle through specialized censorship. I'm detecting unusual energy readings in the center of the station, Powell confirmed. It corresponds to theoretical models of a planet-destroying weapon. Davis made a quick decision. All ships target these coordinates. Maximum firepower. The Terran fleet focused its attack on a specific section of Nexus Prime. The station's outer structure cracked, revealing a massive weapon aimed at Earth's distant sun. Captain Miller put the challenge in position, readying the Nova charge. But Captain, we just finished repairs on the last one. His tactical officer protested. Miller's expression was firm and will notice again. Fire. Challenge launched its devastating weapon directly at the exposed purifier. The resulting explosion destroyed that section of the station, destroying the weapon before it could be activated. As the fighting continued, Captain Mitchell's team arrived at the communications center. With the help of the resistance, they overcame the defenders and took control of the station's transmission system. "We are ready," Admiral Mitchell reported. Davis turned to Ambassador Wright, who had been taken to the flagship. "It's your turn, Ambassador." Lisa stepped forward, preparing to head out into the galaxy. The broadcast would reach all of the Council's worlds simultaneously, revealing the truth about the Council's oppression and Earth's successful resistance. "People of the galaxy," she began, her voice firm. "I'm Earth Ambassador Lisa Wright. Today we bring you a message of hope. The Council lied to you. Freedom is possible. We proved it. On countless worlds, beings of all species watched and listened. The myth of the Council's invincibility was destroyed. The revolution had begun, spurred on by a planet the Council foolishly threatened. Earth was no longer fighting alone. A year after the battle at Nexus Prime, the massive space station looked very different. The Council chambers were transformed into a meeting place for the new Free Worlds Alliance. Representatives of 32 species gathered there, each previously under Council control. Ambassador Lisa Wright stood in the center of the chamber. After months of difficult negotiations, the delegates reached an anonymous decision. "By the authority granted to me by this assembly, I now declare the alliance officially formed," she announced. "Let it be clear that we are together as equals, not as rulers and subjects." Applause filled the room. The Council's former rulers have been removed from power, some facing justice for their crimes against other species. In their place were beings dedicated to cooperation rather than domination. Outside the chamber, General Carter watched the ceremony with satisfaction. He spent the year establishing a training academy where the species shared their military knowledge. The former military councils, once feared throughout the galaxy, mainly joined the alliance after discovering the truth about their leaders. "They are voting for the president now," a help informed him. Carter nodded. "She will win. No one worked harder for this than Lisa." Inside the chamber, the votes were counted quickly. With overwhelming support, Lisa Wright became the alliance's first president. His first act was to sign the Mutual Defense Treaty that would protect all member worlds. With the challenge aborted, now fully repaired and updated, Captain Kate Miller received the news of the election while preparing for a new mission. His ship would lead the first joint species patrol with crew from 12 different worlds working alongside humans. "Congratulations to President Wright," she told her diverse team. "Now let's show the galaxy what we really are means cooperation." The challenge came from Nexus Prime. His mission to explore regions of space was declared prohibited by the Council. Ancient rulers kept many secrets, including the existence of potentially friendly species beyond their borders. On Earth, Lieutenant Ben Garcia had been promoted to lead a new communications project. Using technology from various alliance members, he developed a network that allowed instantaneous communication across great distances. The final relay station is online. He reported to President Martinez that we now have real-time contact with all Alliance worlds. Martin nodded with satisfaction. The Council deliberately kept these worlds isolated from each other. They knew unity would be their undoing. In his laboratory, Dr. Powell led a coalition of scientists from dozens of worlds. Together, they worked to develop technology for peaceful purposes rather than weapons. The Council accumulated knowledge. He explained to a group of visiting dignitaries. They controlled which species received which technologies. "We are ending this practice. All findings will be shared." Employees toured the facility, impressed by the progress made in just 1 year. Projects that could have taken decades under the Council's restrictions were moving forward quickly through cooperation. Admiral Davis stood on an observation platform at Earth's main spaceport, watching as a new fleet prepared to depart. Unlike the warships that fought against the Council, These ships were designed for exploration and scientific research. They are ready, sir, his help reported. Davis smiled. So let them go. It's time to learn what really exists. The new ships rose gracefully from the Earth. Their crews were made up of humans and aliens working together. Their mission was to explore, learn, and establish peaceful contact with unknown civilizations. President Martinez joined Davis on deck as the ships disappeared into the distance. When the Council threatened Earth, they thought they were dealing with a split primitive species, she said. They never imagined they were creating their own replacement. Davis nodded. The Terran Empire began as a shield, a way to protect humanity from threats. Now it has become something better. What is that? Asked Martinez. A lighthouse, Davis replied. The Council ruled through fear. We will set an example. When the last ship disappeared from sight, Terran doctrine was officially adopted across the Alliance. We came in peace. We remain in strength. We defend the free. The Council tried to threaten Earth. Instead, they awakened a power that transformed the galaxy.